Welcome to Academic Gain Tutorials. In this video, we will discuss about the dividend compounding math model for paying education costs. Education expenses can include tuition, books, fees, supplies, transport, and other study-related costs. Instead of depending only on salary or savings at the time the expense arrives, this model explains how a dividend portfolio can be built over time to help cover those costs through dividend income. First, the goal in this example is to fund $12,000 in education costs per year. That is equal to $1,000 per month. This monthly amount may represent tuition payments, books, student fees, or other regular study expenses. So, the main target is to create an income-producing portfolio that can eventually generate about $12,000 per year. Next, the model uses a few simple assumptions. The average dividend yield is 4%, the dividend growth rate is 7%, and all dividends are reinvested. This means the investor does not spend the dividends during the building phase. Instead, the dividends are used to buy more income-producing assets, which can help the portfolio grow faster over time. Now, let us look at the math model. The required portfolio value is calculated by dividing the annual education cost by the dividend yield. In this case, the annual education cost is $12,000, and the assumed dividend yield is 4%. So, $12,000 divided by 0.04 equals $300,000. This means that a portfolio worth around $300,000, producing a 4% dividend yield, could generate approximately $12,000 per year. That is equal to about $1,000 per month before taxes, fees, inflation, and market changes. However, different education cost levels require different portfolio sizes. For example, if the annual education cost is $5,000, the monthly equivalent is about $417, and the required portfolio at a 4% yield would be around $125,000. Similarly, if the annual cost is $10,000, the monthly equivalent is about $833, and the required portfolio would be around $250,000. For the $12,000 goal shown in the slide, the required portfolio is $300,000. If the annual cost rises to $15,000, the target portfolio becomes $375,000. And if the annual education cost is $20,000, the portfolio needed becomes $500,000. Therefore, the higher the education cost, the larger the income-producing portfolio must be. This is why it is important to estimate the future cost of education before setting the investment target. Now, let us examine the compounding example that starts with $50,000. In year 1, the portfolio grows to approximately $53,500, with around $2,000 in annual dividends. This represents about 18% progress toward the $300,000 target. By year 5, the portfolio reaches approximately $70,402, with annual dividends of about $3,514. At this stage, the progress toward the goal is around 23%. Then, by year 10, the portfolio grows to approximately $102,945. Annual dividend income reaches around $6,427, and progress toward the target becomes about 34%. As the compounding continues, the portfolio becomes stronger. By year 15, the portfolio value increases to approximately $159,383, with annual dividends of around $11,158. This is about 53% progress toward the education funding goal. After that, by year 20, the portfolio grows to approximately $233,052, with annual dividends of about $18,859. This shows how reinvested dividends and growth can make the portfolio accelerate over time. Around year 23, the portfolio reaches approximately $308,203. At this point, it crosses the estimated $300,000 target. According to this model, the dividend income may now be enough to support the $12,000 annual education cost target. Furthermore, by year 27, the portfolio may reach approximately $442,149, with annual dividends of around $40,752. This shows that after the target is reached, compounding can continue to create a larger safety margin if the investor stays invested. The process works in a simple cycle. First, the investor starts with initial capital. Then, the portfolio receives dividends. After that, the dividends are reinvested. As a result, the portfolio grows, dividend income increases, and education costs become easier to fund over time. The formula behind the growth is future value equals the starting portfolio multiplied by 1 plus the growth rate, raised to the number of years. This formula shows that time is one of the most important factors in compounding. The longer the money stays invested, the more opportunity it has to grow. The growth chart also shows this pattern clearly. Starting from $50,000, the portfolio grows gradually at first, then accelerates over time. It moves from about $53,000 to $70,000, then to $103,000, $159,000, $233,000, and finally crosses the $300,000 education funding goal around year 23. So, the key lesson is to start early, reinvest dividends, match the portfolio target with expected education costs, and regularly review important factors such as dividend yield, taxes, inflation, market risk, and dividend changes. However, this model is only for educational purposes. Actual investment results can vary based on market performance, taxes, fees, inflation, dividend changes, and investment risk. Dividend income is not guaranteed, and companies can increase, reduce, suspend, or cancel dividend payments. In conclusion, dividend compounding can be a powerful long-term strategy for building an education funding portfolio. With time, reinvestment, and disciplined planning, dividend income may help reduce the pressure of future tuition, books, fees, and other study-related expenses. If this short video was helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.